This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we are in Parker, Colorado. We are here at The Rock. We're with the organization of BikerDown. Since 2011, they have been dedicated to lifting up down bikers through support, prayer, financial assistance. I'm here with the founder and the president. Laurie, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start off, first of all, a little bit about yourself. Share with me how you got involved in an organization like this and how it all began.
I founded BikerDown in 2011 after spending the summer, and a few of my friends had gone down on their motorcycles, and I realized at that time that we had no reinforcements here in Colorado. Bikers are probably one of the most generous individuals to helping other people, but to my knowledge there wasn't an organization about bikers helping bikers. So we founded BikerDown with the intentions of bikers, helping them in the event that they were injured in an accident.
So basically you stepped up and people followed in place. Great story. Let me ask you this. Obviously, this is a collection here of a lot of bikers, a lot of friends, prayer warriors, support team, a little bit of everything. Is that what the intention was when you first got started?
The intention of it is we didn't care what you rode or what group or riding club you were with, but this was about helping all bikers.
I imagine everybody in the room, they just love to ride, but really this is a reason to ride, and that probably makes it all the better.
And this is a reason to ride and to raise awareness, and that this is a combined effort of all bikers. Everybody volunteers. When I need a wheelchair ramp built or I need someone to make food for an injured rider, these people that are here tonight are always the ones that step up to do that for us.
Quite honestly, to be part of this group, first of all, you're very aware of the fact that the freedom of the road, you enjoy it, but you're also keenly aware of the dangers of the road. How can we make people out there more aware of bikers on the street?
Well, one thing that they need to understand is that not all bikers are sons of anarchy. That, just because you see the leather and you see the tattoos and things like that, that these are lawyers and doctors and accountants and hardworking people that just enjoy the ride, and they enjoy, putting their leather jacket on and their patches, but they are the first person that will give you the last $20 out of their pocket. They'll be the first ones to pull over in the event that you are on the side of the road. Bikers are just an amazing group of people.
Why don't you share with us some of the types of fundraisers that you've been able to pull off here in the past few years?
Well, we do a lot of fundraisers, but two of the high-profile fundraisers that we did was one for Claire Davis. She was the 17-year-old that was shot at Arapahoe High School. And in December of 2013, we raised over $5,000 for Claire Davis in 3 hours. The other one that's more recent is Officer Baldwin, a Jefferson County sheriff, was killed in the line of duty on Highway 93 in Golden. And we did a fundraiser at the Rockwood Fire Pizza in Belmar, and we raised $3,000 for him in a matter of a few hours.
Wow, a few hours. So people do step up. That's wonderful. Folks are obviously finding comfort in your organization. They go to the website. It's really a resource base there for them as well. And it's also kind of a springboard of ministry that people just kind of step up for. Is that what you hope for?
Well, what we have is the website is more just an informational website. It's boilerplate. That's where you go to actually fill out a help request if you know of someone in need or you're in need. The Facebook group page is really more of a minute-by-minute. One thing that BikerDown has been able to do is you used to only hear about the bikers that went down in your group. And what we've brought in that awareness is that now people are seeing people in Fort Collins and people in Pueblo and all over the state of Colorado that are going down. And now we're teaching them to be more proactive in their riding.
Some of the folks here, I would imagine, they have probably experienced what it's like to be maybe laid up in a hospital, or they definitely know of a loved one who has been laid up in a hospital. Many times is the support as simple as maybe showing up as a visit.
Most of the time, the family is just as traumatized as the accident victim, and that's really where the message was being lost, was that we have BikerDown advocates that go to the hospital within 24 to 48 hours, and it's really just giving them comfort, because you may have a grandma flying in from New York who knows nothing about the motorcycle industry or anything like that. She's completely traumatized, and we look at her and she's like, well, how am I going to pay for his truck payment? How am I going to do this? He doesn't have health insurance. And usually just me walking in and saying, you know what, no one's kicking him out of the hospital today. So don't worry about that right now. Take that off your radar. Let's worry about what we can handle now, which is if he has a recurring car payment, we can ask the loan company to move 2 payments on the back end of the note. If you're proactive with your monthly bills, no one's going to disconnect you. And if they are knocking at your door going to disconnect you, we will pay your Xcel Energy bill, we'll pay your Comcast cable bill, we will pay a car payment if we have to, whatever we have to do, because we really focus more on the recovery stage, because when you're in the hospital, you have 12 people taking care of you. You have everything that you need, but it's when you have 6 weeks worth of recovery, no paycheck, and then if your needs exceed what we're able to, through the organization, give you, then we'll assist the family in putting together a fundraiser.
That is wonderful. I mean, obviously, like you said, they're overwhelmed at that moment. Emotional support is great. You're really helping them prioritize what their immediate needs are right there. Somebody coming in with a fresh mind and also who has been through it before.
Absolutely. We helped 50 riders last year in Colorado. We had 18 deaths. We helped 12 riders nationwide. So the brand messaging of BikerDown is really getting out there. But we are experienced at the traumas that people will go through. And so normally there's no fears that they have that we haven't heard before, that we can't give them comfort. And really the message is that you're not alone. And if you need something, all you have to do is call and ask. And if I don't know how to do it, I'll find someone to do it.
It's motorcycle riders for motorcycle riders. A support group. You know, when we hear that a rider went down, that sends a chill through all of us. In some way or another, it could be somebody we know. Even if it's not somebody we know, we need to find out, what do they need? Do they have family that need to be notified? I mean, even simple things. Do they have pets at home? What can we do? Everything from are they alive to what hospital did they go to? It's a whole support structure. And if I, unfortunately, haven't been in a wreck, I hope never, I would hope that there's something like that or people out there like that for me, wherever I am. So I have an obligation as a rider to be involved in something like this, is how I feel. It's a brotherhood, it's a network, all the women are like sisters. It's a close-knit group, kind of a core group, and then there's, as it, like a spider web goes out, bigger and bigger, further and further. We reach all the way across the state, and there's been talk of spreading to other states, and eventually, hopefully through word of mouth and through good deeds, we'll eventually be national, maybe international. This is emergency contact information. If I go down and I just happen to have a window wallet where that sits, law enforcement or EMTs can look at that and they say, okay, this is an emergency contact person, a next of kin. This is somebody we need to notify. And plus, it's got the BikerDown insurance information on there. It's got almost all law enforcement around here, I'm probably sure, knows about BikerDown or can get in touch with BikerDown. I mean, they can Google BikerDown. They'll get in touch with Laurie and Chomper. And the word will go out. Someone went down, something needs to be done, what can we do?
Our club supports BikerDown simply because we had a lady rider, it was in our club, that had an accident. That's how we were introduced to them in the first place. They did a wonderful job at helping her and her family. After seeing what they've done and what they've done for other people as time progressed there, it just it made sense to help support an organization that goes out as far as they do to help.
Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, you're going to find their contact information. They've got a phone number there, but they've also got a way for you to submit right there a request so that you can get an advocate out there possibly to help you out. Also, take a look. They've got some great testimonials provided right there. They keep the events updated, so they basically, what's going on around the area, possibly something you could be a part of. And you can also submit events right there as well. Obviously, a lot of ways that folks can get involved, be it monetary donations, volunteering. Share with me how the membership works and what kind of privileges that provide.
The membership is probably one of the things I'm the most proud of, is telling riders and being proactive with their riding. I wanted a membership program that actually gave them value for their dollar. And so our $35 a month membership also includes the accident policy with Aflac. So in the event you should go down or be in a car accident, fall off a ladder at work, and you're out for a certain amount of time, the AFLAC will pay you per injury. They'll pay you for you took an ambulance, you went into the emergency room. So even in the event that a biker doesn't have health insurance, they can get a certain amount of money, which they can prioritize to paying whatever bills they have. And it actually would relieve 1/3 of the fundraisers that go on by having this AFLAC. And it's offered at a rate that's much more affordable than if you can't get it through work, you probably cannot get it any less expensive. The membership for $35 a month also includes the roadside assistance. And so if a biker is down on the side of the road, they can call this number and they can get them and bike off the road safely.
So basically, you don't have to be a member to receive benefits through your organization, but the membership has its privileges without a doubt. Share with me businesses that want to get involved. Maybe they want to maybe do some in-kind or volunteering or possibly even like The Rock here. How have they been able to help you?
The Rock Woodfire Pizza has been a supporter of BikerDown for, this is going on our second year. What they offer to us is a Two-Wheel Tuesday, which is why we're here tonight. 10% of all the sales from 6 to 9 p.m. every Tuesday goes to BikerDown. Mile High Harley Davidson has become a premier sponsor here in this community. They support us by giving us $250 a month. They also just gave us $4,000 worth of merchandise so that we're able to give really great prizes. We also have a lot of little local bars on Colfax Avenue that their bars are the size of my living room, but they step up every month with $50 a month donations. And then we also do a cruise on Colfax the second Friday of every month, which cars are welcome. And we do that just to promote. We all remember a time on a Friday night when we used to get in the car and we used to cruise any road. And so we have some great fundraisers and a lot of great businesses that support us through monetary donations because they're doing it for a humanitarian reason. Law Tigers also sponsors us to help with all our administrative costs so that when a biker donates $20, 100% of their donation goes into the accident fund.
Here in Colorado, in the Denver area, you've got a great bike community, and we really like to try to get involved in the communities when we open restaurants. We don't want to just be just a business. We feel like business has a responsibility to support the community that they're in. We found, we met Laurie and found out about BikerDown about 2 years ago, and just thought they were a great organization. Laurie's a tremendous individual, set this whole thing up herself, and she just does an amazing job. And there's so many things that you can support. This organization, the support goes directly to the individuals involved. So if you have someone that's injured or hopefully, even worse, killed in an accident, the money goes directly to that individual or to the family of the individual. So there's no middleman. Nobody is taking any of that money. It goes right to the people that really need it. So we thought they were a great organization that really helped a great part of the community out here. We did a couple of fundraisers out here last year with BikerDown, did some live music right out here in the back of the restaurant, and the funds from that went to, sadly last year, a couple of police officers that were killed to help support their families. What better cause is that than here's a guy dedicated his life to working for his community and tragically loses his life. So we want to do what we can to try to help the families. You hate to try to tell anybody that it's their responsibility to do something, but as a restaurant or any business owner, you count on wherever you decide to open your business, you rely on the people in that community to support your business. So it only makes sense to try to give back. You're not going to be in business very long if the people in the community don't embrace you. So really, why wouldn't you try to reciprocate, embrace the community, and find a way to give back as well?
Our family publishes a newspaper called Motorcycle Rider News. And it goes across the Front Range, and we support motorcycling and motorcycle riding. And BikerDown was a unique organization in our eyes, and it was part of the community. We're part of the community, so it was natural that we would support them, work with them, partner with them. Laurie's dedication and determination to make it work. She has a heart for this and works very hard, puts her heart and soul into it. I would have to say that Laurie's extremely visible. She's visible in the community, and what's visible is her heart and her concern and care for all of us. Bikers help everyone else. If somebody's house burns down, they're going to have a charity benefit to help that person. If someone comes down with a tragic illness, they're going to help the family. In the community, when something goes wrong, I think of the Jessica tragedy. The bikers were there in a huge force. The Emily Keyes Foundation, huge force. But nobody's looking out for the bikers internally. The community doesn't necessarily come and help when the bikers go down. So she bonded the community together and is there to help when there's an accident, be it a fatality, be it a serious bodily injury. She's there to help and make sure that everything. Laurie and Chopper will show up at your house if you're in need, with supplies, with groceries, if you need help moving things, because if you're in an accident and you have a serious bodily injury, your abilities are going to be compromised, and they'll fill in that gap. Laurie and Chopper will do it personally, along with other volunteers, but really it's Laurie and Chopper who are leading the charge.
Quite honestly, you knew you had a great group of people here in Bikers, but were you even surprised at the level of stepping up that happened since you first started?
Well, we started with 6 people at a table one night, and I said, listen, this is what I want to do, and they said, this can't be done. It's been done before, but the way we prioritized and how we were going to do things is just been amazing, because the bikers have determined what they wanted this organization to be. So therefore, because we listened to them, I never thought that we were going to supply medical equipment, wheelchairs, hospital beds, and things like that. But that's really what a biker needs when they're getting discharged out of a hospital and they don't know where to get it. So yes, this organization has grown leaps and bounds. We're on track, sadly, to probably double the numbers that we did last year, but we're getting it done with a shoestring budget. We're getting it done, and we have the support of the biker community, and that's just invaluable, priceless to us.
Absolutely. We're talking about practical solutions that you're providing out there. Like you said, medical equipment, transportation, legal help, finance, you name it. Those are all real things that people need. They need more than just a pat on the back. But obviously, the prayer, the support, and the friendliness, that's got to be really touching for you. Have you been a part of that? And can you share any story that maybe you'd want to put out there?
One of the people that is actually here tonight, her name is Jackie Tabcom, and her husband passed away coming down from Evergreen. And my husband and I were at a restaurant, and we got the call that Jack's husband, Paul, had gone down. And we went home, got the BikerDown Jeep. My husband rode her bike home, and we escorted her home with a group of other bikers that let her know she wasn't going to be alone. And today she's one of our biggest supporters and advocates of helping other bikers who have lost a loved one because she's been through it. That's one thing that we do. We have a Healing Through Loss program where people that have lost a loved one tragically can come, and Jackie has really helped us with that program. There's so many accidents that we've helped with that they're all so important and they're all so touching to my heart that I really can't think of one versus the other. But I'm proud every time I hang up the phone from someone or the hugs that I get, and they just go, thank you so much for caring. So I don't really have a particular story, but they're all very memorable.
On January 27th, my husband and I and a few friends were headed to a charity function in Lakewood. And coming down from Evergreen down to Morrison, we hit some wet road, and my husband laid his bike down and was ejected from his bike, and he died. It was one of those moments when everybody started talking about calling Laurie when we were on scene, and I was just like, no, we don't need Laurie. I don't need Laurie here, because we had always volunteered. We had always helped. We had been contributors to BikerDown.org. I never expected to be a recipient, ever. And so when she showed up on site, I was a reluctant client, if you will, because her being there meant that my husband had passed away, and then we had had a death in our family. And I remember several riders showing up to help us down, because we were on scene for over an hour. They worked on my husband and everything. And so for her, just the finality of that moment of her showing up, I knew that I was heading into the next chapter of our lives. And we became a recipient of BikerDown as more emotionally than anything. Laurie was there from the first moment when I realized that he wasn't going to make it. And her husband, Chomper, rode my bike home for me. And I'll never forget when he pulled it into my garage and he got off and he said, "It was an honor that you let me ride your bike." And throughout the whole process, for some reason, those words really stuck with me, that these guys really do believe in what they're doing and they really are down. And their little saying about, "We step up when you go down," really means that. And I would call at weird times and just say, "I need to talk to someone." And because Laurie had been through this herself, she was very helpful with me transitioning from being a very happily married woman, mother of two, to that new widow status, which I hate. I hate the label of it, but she helped me understand the importance of moving forward and being a good example to my boys and getting on my bike again, which was one of the harder things. It was a difficult transition, but I couldn't have made it without them. And we were fortunate that we didn't need any of the financial assistance, but she made arrangements for Panera to bring their day-old croissants to my house. So my boys were very happy. There was always something sweet in the house to eat. She organized, along with Kyle Doing and Bubba Barry, everybody bringing 3 meals a day to our house for like 2 weeks. And which I never realized how much that helped until one day I realized we had so much food we couldn't eat it all. But it's just little things behind the scene. And she gave me a notebook and said, "Write everything down. There'll be a day that you're wondering what you said or where you need to be or who did what for you." And I return to that all the time to figure out what was my plan, what was I thinking, because it was very helpful. So from a little idea that she had to help what you would not think would be a lot of people, it really has helped a lot. And I think that every time they help someone new, they learn something from each experience. And even with my experience, there were things that after the fact I was like, "Oh, we could have done this a little bit differently," or "This was really helpful." And I've seen her take those ideas and grow with them with other individuals. So, we continue to help. My boys and I ride on the charity runs every time they have one. And I don't want to be a poster child for them, but I am. We haven't been a recipient of it, so it does happen. And quite frankly, my husband would have been very proud of them stepping forward and helping us because he really believed in BikerDown as well. We just had a friend who recently lost his leg and in a motorcycle accident out on C470, and I am on Facebook every day checking on him. She's involved. There's just a lot going on, and unfortunately, she's really busy now because it's riding season. But we're very happy to help out wherever we can, and sometimes it's just $20 here, $20 there. Other times it's looking for crutches for an individual or whatever it is. I asked her if she had a list of services they provide, and she's like, "But we don't know what people are going to need. So we just wait to hear what their needs are, then we see what we can do." And not many people do that, and not a lot of people understand how important that is because every case is different. Every accident's different, and every recipient is different. Other people need help with funeral services and clothes for their children. I remember that happening. We needed emotional support, and we needed our biker friends to be around us. And I've come from a Marine Corps family, and I thought that was a tight-knit environment, but there is no environment and no community that works any harder. Bikers are the most incredible people in the world, and we're all professionals in one way, shape, or form, and it's just great how they come together. I had 50 people at my house I had never met before, but because they heard about it, they came to help. And you can't find that in any other place in the world.
If you had someone out there who basically is a biker, they've never heard of the group before, basically thinking they would like to be a part of it, what would you tell them?
I would tell them two things they need to do. Number one, there is a product that they sell through Aflac that's accident insurance that can help, tow truck service, all that different kind of stuff. It's minimal cost. They should jump on that because it can just come right out of their bank account. And at least they have some kind of coverage for the little stuff if anything did happen. Secondly, whenever there are rides, show up and be supportive. We all need to come together to help each other out. We're all on the same playing field, and that's the great thing about this community. I've ridden with people that you had to ride a Harley, or you had to ride, you just have to ride something with wheels here. We have people show up in cars. We don't care. It's all about coming together as a community and supporting each other. And get involved. Call Laurie and see what you can do. Follow her on Facebook. look for opportunity. And if you don't have the time, then definitely step up with what you can afford to do. And I'm not saying empty the bank account, just do it on a regular basis. Set up an auto, $10 a month. That $120 would really make a difference for somebody down the road.
Once again, folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen. You're going to see their website right there. On the website, you can click that donation button. Obviously, monetary donations are needed. You can also volunteer, basically be one of the advocates out there in the street. That is BikerDown. If you go down, we step up. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.